Yo, what's up, guys? So, today I wanted to talk about habits and why habits specifically. Because we all have habits, we all have a routine of doing things every single day. We may not be aware of it, but we do have them. So, now it's peeking into the idea of the way we choose our habits and how it affects us moving forward. And choosing the best ones for you personally, because the same habits for me is not going to be the same habits for anyone else. And like, for example, let's say, okay, do 10 push-ups or 100 push-ups every day, and I want you to start weaving and dodging and shadow boxing. Like, that will only help someone who wants to become a boxer or something. That's a habit for them. But for another person, it's not going to help. It's not going to be worth their time or their investment because they simply don't want to go towards that path. So it's more so being conscious and aware of the things you want to achieve and do, but also building up to it. Let me readjust my seat. And it's like, because you have to realize at some point, we have to think about the direction we're taking ourselves in. Why we chose this, why we do what we do, and do we want to do what we do? On several levels, there may not be we may not want to. For example, a job, we may not want to do the job we have, but it gets the bills paid in a sense. And of course, you could say, oh, switch your career to something you enjoy. Of course, there's always that option. That's not to disregard that, but it's the goal in a sense, or what you expect out of it and why you do it. So if there was a better opportunity come your way, obviously you take it. That's without a doubt. And bringing it back to like the habits and things you do, it's more of a what's the right word to use? It's more of a kind of attitude and outlook on life you have, because if you think about it, every single choice you make is yours. It's ultimately yours. Every single thing you feel, every single thought you have, it's all you. Be assertive of how you want your life to turn out and how you expect yourself to be. And, everything. Envision it, be clear about it, have standards, rules, everything you follow. And eventually, of course, you'll achieve it. Because how could you not? How could you not? You're doing everything you can, or everything you will want to do within that certain time, within that. And it's like, you have to keep in mind that, of course, like, you may not get the result immediately. It takes time with a lot of these things, or for example, learning an instrument, learning a language, that takes time. You can't really necessarily put a time. You can put it in a time frame, but that is something that you kind of have to take your time with to truly understand everything within that area. But now, if, let's say, another thing, you can make something take a certain amount of time. For example, you could say, I want to read 3 books within this month. Now, you would have to, obviously count them out, that you would have to read in a certain amount of time and everything, to kind of make everything work within your day. And why do I say that? It's like, I guess it's being strategic, I guess you could say, to put yourself on a path towards progression. And what is progression? Progression to you is different to me, but what it essentially means is like moving in a direction you desire. And it's like brings you back to the desire. What do you want? What do you want? And I feel as if, for me personally, obviously there's several things. For me, it's, obviously learning, that just reading, soccer, learning the guitar, posting these YouTube videos, and eventually there's stuff I want to add on to it, because those are the 4 main ones right now. And, as far as habits, it's how we make our days go about, you know, how we choose to live our life day to day, you know, these certain actions, the certain choices we make, because it's all a choice for us, the free will we have, because we all are given this opportunity to choose how we want to be, to choose what we want to learn, how we want to present ourselves to us. And now, I guess for practical steps, obviously, first you have to ask yourself, what is something I want to learn? It may take some bumping your heads a few times, you know, trying to figure out what you'd like. Just asking yourself, am I interested in this? Am I interested in that? Or even just doing it, and it'll click for you. It's like, oh, this is fun. Now this goes into a certain kind of attitude or a certain kind of mentality you have to have, where it's like, you gotta stay, you gotta consistently do it. And I guess that's the main thing, consistency. Now, consistent just means doing a certain action within a certain amount of time on a, you know, consistent. Like, it's like being, let's take it in simple terms, consistent on YouTube. For some people, it might be post one video every day. That's consistent. One video every week. That's consistent. And it's like, it's living up to the standard that you put upon yourself, living up to the standard that you place upon yourself, and accepting that this is what I chose. You know, I guess that's what I mean by being consistent. And it's fulfilling the rule you set upon yourself. Because if you don't follow your own rules, like, how's anyone else also going to follow those? How are you going to have any sort of authority if you don't have authority within yourself? But yeah, it's have some kind of grit to it, even when times are hard. You know, keep it pushing. And it's like, it'll be tough at times, of course it will. But that sort of grit, or that sort of resilience, where you're able to push right through and keep it pushing, you know, regardless of any circumstances that may come your way, any sort of challenge that may come your way. I feel like that's also important to know. And it can easily be built up over time. But then at the same time, it's like, it's just kind of a momentum kind of thing. No, I feel like that wasn't the right word. But it's just kind of a outlook you have to have on life. And I mean, okay, so you have your habits. Now you have to set the amount of time you want to do it within that certain amount of, you know, the time frame you have. So, you know, we got the consistent part. You want to, let's take it, for example, read a book every month. Now, what is the kind of books you want to read? Or what is a certain action where it's something that interests you, you know? Simple terms, a book. What is the kind of book? For me, it could be nutrition, nonfiction, fiction, psychology, self-help, philosophy, business, finance, science, math, anything. It could really be anything. Now, once you figure out what is the specific, and that's the thing, be specific about it. Be specific about why you're doing it and what you're looking to get from it and what it looks like to be what you want to be. You know, what is the kind of person you want to be in that regard. And then after that, it's really just constantly doing and doing and doing. And then over time, you're going to notice, wow, I've came such a long way. Came such a long way from where I started. And being honest, it can be tough for people. It can be tough, especially when they've been beaten down their whole life, or they've been told you can't do this, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? And it's all these ideas of things people come up with to kind of degrade you, to put you down, to put you on their level, because they may have let their own dreams, you know, be not forsaken. They might have let their own dreams die. They might have, they might have wasted their own time. They might have done all these sorts of things that put them on a path to where they are now, and they don't like where they are now. So who are they to tell you, oh, you're wrong for doing that? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? When they haven't experienced what you want to achieve. And that's the thing. If they aren't where you're at, on a simple term, why listen to their advice? Of course, now on another level, it's like, take their advice to fix your weaknesses, to advance your plan, to make it more well-rounded and, I guess impenetrable. But with that being said, I feel like I've spoken enough. I feel like I've got my point across. But with that being said, leave your thoughts. Although there should have been a script, I won't lie. There should have been at least talking points, because I also, this is a completely separate topic. This is just me personally leaving a note to myself. I should have made talking points just to keep it clear and concise and to the point of whatever, to the topic I'm talking about. But at the same time, I also like being able to allow my thoughts to kind of roam and wander, which also comes with the downside of getting off track. But with that being said, love you guys. See ya.